Alright, YouTube, I'm back again. And again, you know, we're in the car. This is probably the best way for me to make videos, because I don't get disturbed. But, here we go. We're going to talk about this Michael Bennett thing. And, the latest developments as I know them to be. So, apparently, on August 26th, Michael Bennett was detained by police officers for about 10 minutes. Before they realized who he was and that he was not the suspect they were looking for, and they let him go. So, 10 days later, he comes out with a tweet saying that he was harassed and brutalized by Las Vegas PD because he was black and at the wrong place at the wrong time. And then TMZ comes out subsequently the next day with about a 10-second video that shows the cop detaining Michael Bennett. What it did not show is the events leading up to Bennett's detention. So then, on Wednesday, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department comes out with their footage that they have of the incident so far. And it's a body cam from a sergeant who was there at the time and who saw almost everything that went down with Bennett. So in the footage, the body cam footage, it shows Bennett was hiding and then ran out the door. And so when the police saw him running away, they went out and said, that's him. And he ran again, jumped over a wall, and that's where the police caught up to him after he had jumped over the wall and was trying to hide. The police officer immediately gave chase, jumped the wall, and detained Mr. Bennett. Well, Mr. Bennett also made the claim that that police officer that detained him put a gun to the back of his head and told him if he moves that he would blow his bleeping head off. So, in the footage that TMZ revealed, you can't see that. In the footage that the body cam reveals, the officer does have his weapon drawn, but he had his weapon drawn long before he ever gave chase to Mr. Bennett. He had already had his weapon drawn. So, not knowing who Mr. Bennett was at the time, just seeing a fleeing suspect, the cop jumps the wall, and as he catches up to Bennett, right after going over the wall, he obviously still has his weapon in his hand, and so Bennett is laying on the ground, and the cop is trying to position himself to be able to handcuff Mr. Bennett without any danger to himself. Okay? Because you never know how a suspect is going to react once you put the cuffs on. So, the cops are trained to put their knee in your back to subdue you and to give them leverage over you if you can, in turn, try to do something like resist arrest or fight the police officer from that point, which there are documented cases of. So, Mr. Bennett obviously doesn't struggle, he doesn't fight, he asks what he did wrong, and the cop, you know, places the handcuffs on him, and then the video stops. So at no time does the video show the police officer putting a weapon to the back of Mr. Bennett's head. At no time can you hear a police officer say, if you move, I'm going to blow your bleeping head off. So those two claims are his word against the police officer's word. Okay. So all day I've been seeing things, well, you know, the cops are liars and we all know they lie, and they're probably lying about this situation too to make Bennett out to be the bad guy. They're trying to criminalize Bennett's actions and all of this, and what nobody seems to understand is Bennett was not a suspect, was not even, the cops weren't even focused in on him until they noticed him hiding, and then when they noticed him hiding, he ran. And the police officer said, "Hey, do you see that guy running?" And then they go out the door, he goes, they point to the doors, and as they get to the doors, the officer goes, "That's him, that's the guy." And then he goes out, runs out after him. And then you can see Bennett go over the wall and the cop go over the wall in the video. It's hard to make out. If you slow it down frame by frame, you can see it. So, I posed a few questions, and I'm going to pose them here on this video. One, why did it take 10 days to come out with this story? If you're protesting the national anthem because of police brutality against black men, why not shout from the rooftops that very night, or the next day, or while you're being detained? Why aren't you shouting, "This is why I protest. This is why I protest. They have no right to detain me, blah, blah, blah," whatever. Why didn't you do any of that? Why did you wait 10 days before you came out with this story? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two is, why were you hiding? Okay, if there's an active shooter, which that was the call, and that's why the police were there. If there's an active shooter in a casino, why are you going to hide in the casino? Why not run out like everybody else? When the cops were going through the first time and was telling everybody, "Get out, get out, get out, get down, get out. Everybody needs to get out." You hear that a number of times in the video. So, why were you hiding instead of leaving? Okay, next question. When you were spotted, why did you run? You weren't running when the cop first spotted you, you were hiding. Then he spots you, you see him, and realize that he sees you, and then you run. Then you go outside, the cop follows, sees you outside, points you out to the sergeant, and then gives chase. And as he gives chase, you jump a wall, which indicates you are running away. So, question number three, why run? If you did nothing wrong, why run? If the cops stop you and say, "Hey, we need to see some ID, blah, blah, blah," they don't know who you are, then you give them ID. You say, "Look, my name is Michael Bennett. I'm a defensive end for the Seattle Seahawks, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to get out of the casino. I don't want to get shot." Then, as long as you comply with police officers, 9 times out of 10, and now in today's day and age where anything and everything can be recorded at the drop of a dime, I don't see why, if you comply with police officers, they would still have any reason to do you any harm or use any kind of physical actions against you, as long as you comply. So, that to me, those are some questions that I pose to anybody out there watching this video to give me some legitimate, fact-based answers. Don't give me speculation. Don't give me, "Oh, because he was black, he was afraid for his life." Because I don't buy that narrative for 1 minute. Okay? And if so, if that were the case, that's the same thing he's protesting on the sidelines of every single NFL football game that he is going to participate in this year, because of police brutality against black men. Well, if that was the case, and you did nothing wrong, you should have been shouting from the rooftops from day one. From the minute they undid them handcuffs, you should have been on the phone, calling every news station, getting every news reporter you could to meet you somewhere and do a press conference right then and there. I was just brutally attacked by police officers, yada, yada, yada. They assumed I was a bad guy because of the color of my skin, which you did say, and then come to find out the circumstances behind why you were chased had nothing to do with the color of your skin. It had everything to do with you running away. So, you know, this whole race baiting thing is getting out of control. And when you have people like Michael Bennett who are force-feeding a narrative to the country, and over-exaggerating what really happened to him to get people riled up and to get people on his side and on Colin Kaepernick's side, isn't the way to get your message across. Because now people are going to say, oh, well, you lied. Why are we going to believe anything you said because you lied? And for trying to perpetuate a narrative that wasn't true. So nobody's going to believe you after that. So this whole situation, you know, is getting bloviated out of proportion because he said some things that weren't true. And now that those things have come out, more and more people are starting to see that while there were some issues with the incident that happened, like the officer's body cam not being on, I take issue with that. Because I think every officer, the minute he gets out of his patrol car, his body cam should come on. The minute he draws his weapon, his body cam should be recording. Or the minute they get out of the car, the body cam should be on and recording. Now, inside the car is a different story. That is between partners, and that's private conversations that nobody should be able to hear. But outside of the car, that body cam needs to be on every minute. Excuse me. But anyways, I've said my piece. I posed the questions. If anybody's got any comments or they want to respond to those questions or respond to my video, you can leave a message, leave a comment below. And if you want to hear more of my videos and hear more of what I've got to say on certain issues like this and other issues, whether it be politics or sports or whatever, then subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you like this video.